This is Radio Now 95.3 FM. Come for the news, stay for informed conversations.
Reactions have continued to trail the trial of these minors as part of a group of protesters arrested during the August 2024 Bad Governance protest. We've seen images showing 4 of the minors slumping in courts before the case began. These videos and images have spurred a number of Nigerians to call on the federal government to release the children. While some Nigerians are working hard to ensure that these children are taken care of while at this holding facility where they are currently being held. And one of the agencies working to help is one known as Hope Behind Bars, with the Executive Director Funke Adeoye, who joins us in just a moment to discuss the current situation of these children at the holding facility. Funke Adeoye joins us now. Good morning, Ms. Adeoye. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good morning.
Good morning. Happy to have you with us this morning. Your organization, Hope Behind Bars, we understand is working to help some of these minors that are currently being held at the facility by the government. I understand that you visited them over the weekend. Can you sort of speak to us about the state of these children and just the facility where they are being held?
Absolutely. Yes, so we have been working to effect their release actually since August when they were arrested. They were arrested from different parts of Nigeria, brought to Abuja, and for some reason they were not charged until they were not brought to court until a fundamental human rights action was filed against the government. And what we saw on Friday was a clear depiction of children who have been held in captivity for 3 months without any form of attention to their welfare. So, as the videos could tell, they were severely malnourished. They looked like they had been starved, and there was a lot of fear and trepidation in their eyes. The court on Friday remanded them at a facility that actually doesn't exist. So, after the remand, we actually had to follow them, drive with the Nigerian Correctional Service staff to Kuje Custodial Center, where they were rejected. They were rejected and they had to be returned back to IRT.
Before they were arraigned in court, because there were reports that they were being held at Kuje Correctional Center, even though the Nigeria Correctional Service denied that they were being held at that same facility that also houses adult offenders. Is it clear where they were being held before they went to courts?
To be very candid, so like I said, we've been working, trying to find out where they were before Friday as well. And we had visited Project Custodial Center and we didn't find them there. The law is very clear that children have no place in adult correctional facilities. So I think from all indications, they had always been at IRT. That's the former SARS Center.
So, with the Kuje Correctional Center not accepting them, and of course, as you've pointed out, there is no such facility within the Kuje Correctional Center. Where are the children being held now?
They are currently at IRT. So, IRT is the Intelligence Response Team. It's former SARS, also called Abattoir. So, it's like a police, a police station. Yeah. So, they are held in a detention center that probably doesn't have cells. When we went on Saturday, we were not allowed to see all of them. We were only allowed to see about 6 of them, the ones that fainted in court. So it's very clear that right now, those children are not in a place where they have adequate beds, adequate facilities enough to take care of them. And I think it just brings to fore the fact that we don't have adequate, we should have both-style homes across the country in all the states in the Federation. But to my knowledge, currently we only have 3 both-style homes. So a both-style home is like a juvenile detention facility managed by the government. We only have 3 of such across the country.
Right. I want to talk about their bail conditions because they were, of course, granted bail with some very strict conditions. 1, 10 million naira each. 2 sureties. Each one should be each one should be a civil servant. The other should be a family member, that is a parent or a sibling. 3. The civil servant should produce employment letter, last promotion letter, 2 passports and valid ID, and 4, a valid means of identification. Has any of the detained of persons being able to provide or meet these bail conditions? Is it clear that any of them might be able to meet these conditions?
So bail usually not supposed to be a punitive measure, but everything that you just mentioned, which is rightly what it is, already shows that they are being punished for a crime they have not been tried. Because I don't know how children who have come from different parts of the country, some of them, Kano, Zaria, Kaduna, are supposed to meet those bail conditions. By the way, I did mention that some of them, their parents have had to stay around in Abuja, living in uncompleted buildings during the pendency of their remand. So whether those bail conditions will be met by the children, I totally think it will be possible. Where are they supposed to get civil servants level 15 who will come and stand for them? I mean, even the fact that we're talking about bail conditions, there's a problem because the Federal High Court doesn't even have jurisdiction to try this matter. The law is very clear, Section 204 of the Child Rights Act, that if a child has to engage in trial, or if a child has to go through trial for something like related to this, they should be tried through the child juvenile system. That's the first thing. And then secondly, to also say that if, let's assume a crime has been committed, the crime was committed in their state, so the Attorney General of their state should be the one trying them, not the Attorney General of the Federation. So it's a lot of, I mean, when you look at everything holistically, you find out that there's just been a lot of violations. The law is very clear that bail should not be punitive, but the bail terms that have been given to these children are extremely punitive, and it just calls into question the failure of our system, to be candid.
So, if these children are unable to meet bail conditions, they will be held until trial, which is scheduled to go down on the 24th of January 2025. Is that correct?
That is correct. I mean, that is what it's supposed to look like. But I think that's why we're also having this conversation, to say the government needs to look at everything holistically and dismiss the charges, because the charges are even baseless. So there's a lot of advocacy around discontinuing disputes or varying the bail conditions. I mean, the lawyers have the option to vary, to request for the bail conditions to be varied as well, or to even move the trial date backwards, to request that the trial date be moved backwards.
Well, Ms. Adeoye, thank you very much for your time on this conversation. Funke Adeoye is the Executive Director of Hope Behind Bars. They are an NGO that is working with the minors who have been charged to court as part of the hashtag EndBad Governance protesters that are facing trial at the moment. You're still on to Radio Now 95.3 FM Lagos. In just a few moments, we'll turn to Abia State and the local government elections which were conducted over the weekend.
This is Radio Now 95.3 FM. Come for the news, stay for informed conversations.